All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahoya from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name. Rakah is spirit, Kodash is holy, Akyam is brothers, Akwath is sisters, Shalom means peace, and Yashar Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Now I want to go into a lesson through the spirit, but I'll start off with Proverbs chapter 4, all right, in verse 7. All right, and it reads, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. All right, because ultimately there's a bigger picture at play through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, it's not just about understanding that we're Israelites and gathering information. It's also about understanding the time that we're in through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Understand that the MOTB is nigh, understanding that there will come a time through the spirit where all of the routine and the comfort, so to speak, will be cast off. All right, as the Lord begins to move on this system and touch the individuals and the inhabitants of Babylon the Great. That's not just going to affect them, it's also going to affect us in certain degrees. Now, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. The elect are going to be saved through all of those situations, but it's still going to be an uncomfortable situation. All right, in all the scriptures, all right, matter of fact, let's go there. This is Romans chapter 15, and I'll start at verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. So with all you're getting, you're supposed to get understanding, and most importantly, through the Spirit, the faith that was already sown in you from the foundation of the earth is supposed to flourish because of the accounts and the records that the Lord has allowed us to be privy to. Part of that is understanding the bigger picture. A lot of Jake are so consumed with winning a battle that they lose sight of the war. You got Jake that wake up and all they're consumed with is watching brothers cut Edomites. That's why part of understanding this is understanding what the will of the Lord is in these times. Because we are in that time through the Spirit where the Lord's going to take vengeance on the earth. And we believe, we have hope that the Lord will grant us mercy and save us from all of the troubles that we may suffer on this side. Yet there's still a mentality that comes with understanding that this is going to be a reality. A lot of Jake that understand that Israelites don't necessarily understand that the things we read are going to play out in reality. Dead bodies from one end of the earth to the other is going to play out in reality. When you know that, when you understand that that's going to play out before your eyes, Lord willing, we be a part of that number, there's a certain mentality that comes with that. That's why the scriptures say, with all thy getting, get understanding. Because it's important to understand that this is the time that we're in. All right, we're not in the time of the Babylonian captivity where the Lord said, look, after 70 years, I'm going to come save you, plant vineyards. And we're in the time where we have to be as pilgrims. And that starts with a mentality first and foremost. All right, so real quick, let me grab this. Bear with me. I gotta bring this out. Yep. So this is Ephesians chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. This is important. You have Jake who, they'll look from the outside looking in and say, all y'all talk about is the MOTB, or all y'all talk about is World War III. But you have to understand what the will of the Lord is. The history and all those different things are important as well, but we're in a time of prophecy. We're literally in a time, and brothers were going into this on Saturday, where it's not abnormal to hear about nukes, ICBM missiles, WW3, the C-hip, brain C-hips. We're in a time where these things aren't abnormal. It's not an abnormal thing to hear about these things. So knowing that through the spirit of Yahweh by Shemal Shai, we bring these things out to put those who are of the elect in remembrance. Because again, these things are going to play out in reality, and the elect are going to be wise to these things. They're not going to be ignorant of Satan's devices. But how are they going to be made aware? By the watchmen. And that's why we're fighting to win the war, not these little individual ego battles that's going on amongst Israel. When you deal with IUIC and ISUPK, that's an ego battle. Doesn't move the needle for the war at all. All about ego. Not realizing that dead bodies from one end of the earth to the other is going to play out in their personal reality. See, when you think it's going to happen afar off and it's not going to be close to you at all, there's a certain mentality that comes with that. On the opposite side of that, when you understand that these things are going to play out in the city near you, in the city that you inhabit, you move completely differently. Because you understand that that's a reality that's going to play out. And a lot of Jake don't understand that. Real quick. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, Salakia, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? And that reminds me of the dry bones, you know. The scriptures say they had everything, roughly paraphrasing, but they didn't have the breath. Because part of that breath is understanding the vision. We are in a time through the Spirit where the Lord is going to let this play out in reality. It's not just going to live on the pages of the book forever. As we hasten the day, a part of hastening the day is going through that straight gate. It's going through those times with the understanding that it's going to play out in your reality. All right, and that's why through the spirit of Yahweh by Shemal Shai, where all thy getting, get understanding. Because in that day, it's going to be about the faith that you have in Yahweh by Shemal Shai, and if you are of the elect. It's not going to be about these ego battles for titles and to be the whole IUIC, ISUPK, ego battle. It ain't going to be about that in that time. When the lights cut off and YouTube is taken down as a platform. This ministry, Lord willing, we're a part of that number, is going to move from faith to faith, man. It is going to move. It's not just going to stay lessons. Lessons are meant to build up the faith of the elect who already have faith from the beginning. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. But it's not going to live here. And you can tell that a lot of those Jakes in those camps are of the mentality that's going to stay like that. They read certain scriptures about Jacob's trouble. They read certain scriptures, but their mentality, their attitude is not as if it's going to play out in their reality. They move as if we're just going to be Israelites in America for the foreseeable future. And that's why the message, beginning with our apostle on down, is so offensive coming from Great Millstone in the eyes of other camps. Because there's a vibration of urgency because we understand the times that we're in. Lord willing, we're part of that number. Because if you really meditate and thought that this was going to play out in your reality, how would you move? Knowing that the people that live next to you, if you stay in an apartment, you may come out to find them dead, or you might, these things are going to play out in reality. That's why Passover's on this side is serious. We ain't in the kingdom yet. And Lord willing, we're part of that number. The Lord's going to save the elect from all situations that they're going to go through. But I use this analogy, and it's that if you ever had a father or a grandfather or some type of authority figure in your home, and that authority figure was upset, even if it wasn't against you, you felt some type of way. There was a certain energy, a certain level of fear, because you understood that the authority in the household was upset. Even if you thought that you ain't do nothing wrong, there was this thought in the back of your head that you could possibly be involved in it. Maybe they were coming to beat your sister or your brother, but in the back of your mind, you knew like, man, Pops ain't, man, he mad. I don't know who. I think it's such and such, but I don't. That's the mentality when you understand what the Lord is actually about to do, man. Look at what they said about our power, man. Look at what he said he's going to do as a response. Knowing that's going to play out in 3D, not just somewhere off in the distance, but in your reality, there's a different mode of thinking and a different mode of conversation or conduct. And when you understand that, you can see easily through the Spirit why there's so much conversation about the MOTB and World War III concerning our apostles on down. Because it's a constant reminder of the time that we're living in, man. It's a constant reminder of the time. Yes, we're Israelites. Yes, we're the house of Jacob. We're the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes. But what time are we living in? Are we in the time of Hezekiah? You know, are we in our land and we just having little tit for tat battles in our land, but we safe? Is that the time we in? I would say hell no, but I'll say heavens no. This is a serious time. And that's why brothers move, beginning with our apostles on down who have set that example. There's a sense of urgency because things are about to happen in the earth. And you just being an Israelite don't necessarily save you from that. That's why our apostles talk about the elect so much. Because that's who it's about, that's what it's about. Those are the only vessels that are slated for mercy on this side. And it's less of them than those who are slated to be destroyed. If you knew that was going to play out in your reality, your grandmamas, your homeboys, your uncles, there will be a certain mode of thinking. You know, brothers crack jokes, brothers, you know, but even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, the heart is sick, roughly paraphrasing. Because our heart is in the house of mourning because we understand Pop's mad, man. And until his anger is ceased, there's a certain level of nail biting, so to speak. Now, we are confident that the Lord will have mercy because we know the Lord ain't unrighteous. But even then, when you growing up in your household, you knew your dad didn't intend evil for you. But if he was ready to beat your ass, there was a certain level of fear. I'm going to go back to this. This is Matthew. You know what? Let's go here. This is Malachi, chapter 1, and verse 6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name, and ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? You're not safe just being a son of Jacob. That's the reality. Now, the Lord not unrighteous, but we all fall short of the glory as well. So there's a certain mentality. And I say that just to say through the Spirit that there's a certain mentality that we maintain because we understand we're not in the kingdom yet. And with all you're getting, you must understand that this ain't just about gathering knowledge. It's also about understanding what the will of the Lord is and how that looks in reality. Not just off in the distance watching it on TV, but how does that look in day-to-day activity? How does the Lord judging Babylon the Great look for you in your surrounding area? And this isn't the shame, it's the warn, because again, we believe the Lord gonna save us from all situations. Lord willing, we be a part of that number because we believe the Lord is merciful and we have acknowledged our offense. But there's still a certain mentality understanding the Lord is about to put more belt to ass as we get closer to the end because the point hasn't been made. All the judgments the Lord doing now hasn't shaken the core of these people yet. So it's going to get more intense. And just like that analogy, so to speak, it's like your father being upset in the house. Maybe your sister did something wrong. Maybe your brother did something wrong. But even in that, you understood like, man, there's an energy in the house of knowing that the Lord is about to go, he's about to turn up. And we don't want to be a part of that. All right, so again, Malachi 1:6, a son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? Now I'm going to go here, and I'll end it with this. 2 Esdras 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're not just supposed to know that we're Israelites, we're also supposed to measure the time diligently within itself. And that comes with a realization that it's going to play out in reality, that it's not just going to live in the book. Our captivity, going into captivity on ships, didn't just live in the book. The rest of it is not just going to live in the book. And when you understand that through the Spirit, there's a certain mentality that you have. And with all you're getting, you're supposed to get understanding of that. Now, again, we have faith. We believe Yahweh Shem Shah is going to deliver us. But at the same time, we still have a certain conduct that we have, all right, Lord willing, knowing that the Lord is going to actually do this and it's going to play out in our reality. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Call Haloyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath who are believing this word, in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.